It is Iron Bowl week, and there's a lot on the line for Alabama. Welcome to another episode of the Bamature Hour. I am Bama John. In this episode, Will Kay and I will preview the Auburn Alabama Iron Bowl football game that's being played at Auburn on Saturday night. Today is Wednesday, November 26, 2025, in the year of our Lord. Thank you for tuning in. We now have over 7,100 subscribers to the YouTube channel and growing, headed to 10,000 plus. So please like, subscribe, follow, hit the notify button on YouTube. If you're accessing us on other podcast outlets, please like, subscribe, and follow. All right, Will K, it is Iron Bowl week. There is a ton on the line. It's also Thanksgiving week and Turkey Day. Number one, I'm grateful for our family and for having Thanksgiving, and I'll be really grateful if Alabama can get it done. All right, let me know some thoughts on this Iron Bowl and all that's on the line.
Yep. Everybody just keeps talking about how in Jordan-Hare, weird things happen. It's a close game. And then at the beginning of this season, in one of our podcasts, I talked about how it doesn't matter Auburn's record when we go into Jordan-Hare, they could be 1-11, and it would still be a close game. They're 5-6, but a lot of those games have been one score decisions. They haven't gotten blown out by anybody. Maybe they just can't make plays at the end of the game to win. That'd be good for us because we tend to be do well in close games. We tend to be on the other side of the till in close games because we've had a lot of close games this year too. Um, Missouri, Georgia, Vanderbilt was closer than it looked. South Carolina, we pull out some wins, and Auburn's they can't make the plays to win. But this is different. I think that this year it's a little bit more hyped up, that it's in Jordan-Hare. I think that, you know, you really just have to get down to how good is Auburn, really. Um, you know, their quarterbacks only had like two starts. Their defense is pretty good. Cam Coleman's good. But I mean, they have games where they lose to Kentucky 10-3. They only score 3 points, but then they go into overtime with Vanderbilt on the road and still lose, but put up 38 points. So, I mean, it's just going to be interesting. The line is 5.5, which is, I think, everybody's begging you to put money on Alabama. But I think it'll be close, and I hope we win.
Yeah, let's talk about those losses that Auburn's had, all those close losses. So they've lost all of their games, all six games by 10 or less, and they had opportunities to win all of them. They lost at Oklahoma by 7. They had multiple bad calls by the referees that really swung the game in Oklahoma's favor. So they could have pulled that game out. So I mean, hats off to them for playing Oklahoma close in Norman when Mateer was healthy. Granted, Oklahoma, it was early in the season, but man, that was a stinger of a loss by them. Then they
Yep.
go to Texas A&M and they lose by 6. Again, Texas A&M undefeated. If we beat Auburn, we're likely going to play Texas A&M in the SEC championship game. To go to Texas A&M and lose by 6, I mean that's another close, tough loss. They were beating Georgia at home and seemed to have Georgia on the ropes. And then that game swung with some weird calls and weird things happen. And they just seem to find ways to lose in games they can win. Then they
Yep.
lose to Missouri in overtime by 6. Then weirdly, I don't know whether Hugh Freeze just threw the towel in that week or whatever, but you lose to Kentucky at home by 7. That game blew my mind, and look the way Vanderbilt crushed
Well, and
Kentucky.
the score was they didn't just lose by 7; they lost 10-3.
Yeah, just terrible. Their offense was awful. And, Hugh Freeze is supposed to be a good offensive coach, and their
Yeah.
offense was terrible. I think they stuck with Jackson Arnold way too long. I think Hugh Freeze had too much confidence in him. But anyway, he got fired after the Kentucky game. Then they go to Vandy, and they had Vanderbilt down by as much as 21 points, and then Vandy wins in overtime. So just weird, weird stuff. So I don't know what to make of Auburn's. It's really their offense, I think. I think what do we make of Auburn's offense? Because their defense is good. They have a tough
I'm
defense.
sure they'll make some really good plays against us. I'm sure they will.
Well, and to that point, we've faced better defenses than Auburn's defense, but they have a really good defense. I mean, let's talk about getting prepared for this game. That Oklahoma game was great preparation for this game.
Yeah.
That's got us ready. We played Georgia, we played Missouri,
LSU has a
tough
good defense.
Vanderbilt. LSU has a really good defense. I mean, we're ready. We're battle tested. It's just, can we go on the road in a must-win game at Auburn and get it done? Can Ty avoid throwing a stupid interception? Can he throw the ball away? Can he avoid getting the strip sack fumble again? Because Ty's been great this year, but he's struggled the last 3 games a little bit. Too many turnovers, not playing at the level that he'd been playing the previous 6 weeks. As we're sitting here at 9-2 and 6-1 in the SEC. So can Ty get back to the Ty that we had after the FSU game in that 8-game run of 8 straight wins? Can he get back to that level that he played against Georgia, against Vanderbilt, against Missouri, in the come from behind win at South Carolina? Can he do that, or has his level just dropped? And because Ty's got to be better than he was against Oklahoma and he was against LSU if we're going to win this game, in my opinion. Thoughts on Ty and where he is?
Yeah, I mean, even in that Oklahoma game, his stats kind of usually stay the same, and it doesn't tell the whole story though. You can just kind of tell. I mean, he threw for 312 yards against Oklahoma, but he had the
And
pick
a
six.
touchdown.
Yep, and a touchdown, but he had that pick six, and then I think he's now 7 games in a row where he's been strip sacked.
Yes.
7 in a row now, dating
Yeah.
back since like Missouri, maybe. Um, so, but I don't remember, when in 2023 or 2021 going into this game, like, oh, this is a must-win game. This is a big game. We kind of just assumed that we would win a little bit because, those teams weren't good either. Those were like 5 and 6 Auburn teams. But I think now that we've seen those games, now we're like, okay, um, because I mean, the last time we beat Auburn, soundly in Jordan-Hare was maybe 2012. Every time, or 2011, every
No,
time.
2015, Derrick Henry, we went in there with that team that won the Natty, and we drilled them there.
No, well, that was one of those games that it was closer than the score indicated. Derrick Henry scored a garbage time touchdown to make it look better than it was. But anyway, I think that Auburn's gonna, throw the kitchen sink at us. Um, but I think that some people are maybe overhyping it a little bit. Um, I think we'll be fine, and if we're not, then Kalen DeBoer might be on the chopping block because I mean, going into the last 3 games of the year, you're 8-1, you're the number 4 seed, and you somehow just juggle it and lose the playoff. I mean, you just can't do that. This 9-3 stuff's just not going to work, and goes to show you that that Florida State loss is still biting us. Had we not lost that, we'd be fine.
Well, and that's why it's a must win. Let's talk about it. Must win. If we want to go to the playoffs, we got to win this game.
Yeah,
If we want to get a bye in the playoffs, we got to win this game, and then we got to win the SEC championship game. So, ton on the line here. Then Auburn. DJ Durkin wants the Auburn head coaching job. So
yeah,
he wants to win this game badly so he can get that head coaching job. So he's got a lot riding on this game. The Auburn
yeah,
players would like to be bowl eligible. They want to put it in Alabama's face because Alabama's had a really good season. We've had a really good season, 9-2 right now. After that Florida State debacle, we've had a great season, and they would like to ruin our season, become bowl eligible, and knock Alabama out of the playoffs. So I think there's a lot riding on it for both teams, and they're going to be hyped up. I love the fact that we've won 3 road games. Can we go 4-0 on the road? Can we do that?
yeah,
So tons riding on it. It's going to be a fascinating game. It's not going to be an easy game. Auburn has really good players. As a matter of fact, I hope Cam Coleman goes in the portal, and I hope we go pay up and bring him here next year. I'd love to have him on our team next year.
yeah,
And whoever Auburn hires as the coach, that's going to be a priority, is to pay that guy and try to keep him. But will Cam Coleman I think he's going to go to the highest bidder that has a chance to win a national championship. I don't think Cam Coleman wants to go through a rebuilding year next year. And quite honestly, I would dump Ryan Williams and send him on his way if I could get Cam Coleman.
Yeah, yeah. I think Cam Coleman's probably going to leave next year.
Yeah, I think he's going in the portal as soon as the season's over. He's going to show up in the portal, and that is going to be wild. That's going to
Yeah.
be wild to see how much money and all the people bidding on him and where he goes. But that's my sneaking suspicion is that he's going in the portal. So I mean, Cam Coleman, what do you think about the Auburn quarterbacks? I mean, do you expect them to be successful for Auburn in this game and to be able to move the ball and put points on the board? I mean, do you think their guys can play better than Diego Pavia, or name your quarterback that we played? We played a bunch of good ones and we've held them in check.
Yeah, I think that our defense is really underrated. Nobody's really talking about it a lot. Um, it's a bend but don't break. Some teams can drive on us, but we give up field goals. We don't give up touchdowns a lot. And we force a lot of turnovers. And Ashton Daniels hasn't seen a defense like ours. He's played Arkansas, Vanderbilt, and Kentucky. I mean, everybody wants to hype up Auburn. Oh, it's in Jordan-Hare, weird things happen, but you do kind of have to go back to that. I mean, he still hasn't played that much. I expect us to win, but I would not be surprised if we lost.
Do you think the Deuce will play, or do you think they're just going to stick with Ashton Daniels? Let's say Ashton
Yeah, if
Daniels throws
Ashton
a pick
Daniels
or
isn't,
something.
maybe, maybe so. I don't know.
So that's the great thing is Ty Simpson is battle tested. He's experienced. He has been through the wars. And I mean, let's face it, Auburn's got a really good defense, but they're not better. They're not better than Oklahoma. He's seen
No.
and really you take away that had he thrown that ball away on the pick six instead of trying to force that ball in there, we win that game. We win that game if he just doesn't
Yeah.
throw that pick six. So I think Ty is going to be very conscious of not trying to force the ball into tight windows. There's just no reason to do that. Don't beat yourselves. And hopefully he'll throw the ball away or just go down instead of hanging on to the ball an extra half second or a second and taking a dumb sack because he's going to get heat. I think Auburn's going to they're going to blitz us, don't you think?
Oh yeah.
That's the MO on Ty is blitz him and bring pressure and make him show that he can beat you under duress. And he struggled against Florida State. Then he did really well up until LSU, and then he struggled some against LSU, and then in Oklahoma when it was go time. Because really, had Ty gone down at the end of that game and scored, he could still be in the Heisman running. I think had he scored on that Oklahoma defense, but we got into
Yeah.
that first and long at our own 44, and then we turned the ball over on downs, and that was it. And what did Brent Venables do on all those plays? He blitzed Ty. He just put Ty under extreme pressure, and we didn't do a good job of just getting the ball out to the hot route and trying to pick up 2 to 5 yards. He took that 11-yard sack on 1st and 10. And when that happened, I said, game over. We're done. I didn't think we could rally from 2nd and 21, pick up that first down, and somehow go down and kick a field goal to win. So,
Yeah.
but I still believe in Ty. He's just got to play better. He's got to be sharper. He cannot make those critical mistakes.
Yep.
So, I mean, I think it's clear that we have the advantage at quarterback if we get good Ty. If we get good Ty, if we get B+ to A- Ty, we have the advantage.
We still
Running
haven't
back.
seen a complete A+ game from our entire team, so maybe this will be the game.
Well, I think we win this game with an A- game. I think if we play an A- game, we win this game. We don't need our A+ game. I mean, really, I thought against our defense played an A game against Oklahoma, but our special teams gets a D or an F. That was bad. Our offense gets maybe a C. So that was probably a C to C+ game overall for our team, and we still should have beaten Oklahoma. You just take away one of those 6 just bad plays, and you eliminate one of them, and we win. Talty makes that field goal at the end of the first half, we win, which we'll get to special teams in a minute. But all right, let's talk about the Auburn offense. They've got a good running back. I think Jeremiah Cobb's a good running back.
Yeah, yeah, he is.
So we're going to have our hands full about trying to limit him, but we've done a good job of limiting other good running backs. It's not like we haven't seen good running backs before. Cam Coleman's going to be a handful, but our defense is playing well. So I think we can limit them to 20, 15 to 20 points, I think. What's your feeling about our defense against their offense?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, their offense, granted they played Jackson Arnold for most of the year. I don't, their offense hasn't been great, and that goes to more than just the quarterback. Ashton Daniels played at Stanford. He hasn't played, in a big game. It might just be too much for him. Um, did almost beat Vanderbilt, but that night their defense didn't show up. Their defense gave up 45. So. I mean, it really just depends. And then, you lose 10-3 against Kentucky. So you just don't know who you're going to get. You just got to be ready for everything.
Yeah, that was bizarre.
Yeah.
All right, on Auburn's defense, give me some thoughts. Give me some, what do you think about this Auburn defense?
Auburn defense has been pretty good all year. They, like we were talking about earlier, they, only lose by a touchdown or less pretty much every game. Jackson Arnold, he snuck it into the end zone against Georgia and they called it a fumble. They would have gone up 17-0 had that happened.
Yeah,
That would have changed the game. Um, so I mean, limiting teams like Texas A&M to like under 20 points, and Georgia to 20 points exactly. They've been good, but then they also gave up 45 to Vanderbilt. I know that Diego Pavia is playing really well, and that was on the road. But so you don't know what you're gonna get.
their turnover, and this is wild that they're 5-6, but their turnover margins plus 11. It shows you how bad their offense had been with Jackson Arnold.
What's
Using
our turnover margin now?
+6. So we're only +6 on the turnover margin because we've had these turnovers the last multiple games. They're +11. And in terms of scoring, our defense is rated higher than theirs. We're at 9th and they're at 16, but it's because their defense has been worn out and put in bad positions because their offense has been so bad under Jackson Arnold. So you can't hold all these bad offensive stats to the offense as a whole. When your quarterback's bad, that just hurts you. So I'm expecting their offense to be more productive than it was under Jackson Arnold, but our defense is playing so well. And we've played great quarterbacks. We've played dual threat quarterbacks. So I don't think they're going to throw anything at us that we haven't seen. So I feel good about our defense doing enough to allow us to win. How do you feel about our offense against their defense when we don't run the ball well?
We usually score somewhere in the 20s. I just assume that will continue. We'll score probably 24 to 27. Um, so I think that Ty bounces back. He knows the stakes. He knows what's on the line, and you know, he did it against Georgia. It's just that there's a lot more, I don't know, lore and talk about this game because it's a rivalry game. Last game in Jordan-Hare. And it's there's just more pressure to it, but I think he handles pressure well. So I think that he'll be fine.
What about our inability to run the ball? Do you think we can just use the pass game, the short passing game in lieu of the run game and just keep the sticks moving
Just give it to
and do what we
Daniel
do?
Hill. Our run game improved against Oklahoma. It was better
Yeah.
against all defenses, of course. It was better against Oklahoma somehow. Um, two rushing touchdowns. Jam Miller he's just not doing it. I mean, he
What
had
about
like,
AK Deer? Or do you want to
yeah, I
see
mean,
AK Deer
put
get
him
some
in.
snaps?
Yeah. Jam Miller I mean, even the runs against Eastern Illinois, he got like 12 yards, but he would just like try to go around him. He just wasn't very efficient. And if he tries to do that against, a real defense, he's going to get caught for 2 yards. I mean, it's like he just like gets 2 yards and then like goes down or something. I don't know what. what the problem is. But just give it to Daniel Hill more. And maybe some Ty Simpson uh, runs. He runs it a little bit.
Yeah, I just don't want to get him hurt. It's the only thing. But
Yeah.
he certainly scrambles the ball
I
and he
think
can.
he's good for one or two a game.
Yeah, just to keep them honest. I think that's important. But I like Daniel Hill. I hope they play him. I'd like to see AK Deer get some action and see if he can come in and take Jam's spot. Jam's big problem to me is when he gets to the second level, he can't run away from anybody. He does not have breakaway speed, which gets me excited about maybe seeing AK Deer play. So I think
Yeah.
our offense, if we're playing our B plus or better level of offense and not turning the ball over and ties accurate and throwing the ball and just those quick passes, I think we can put plenty of points on the board and get it done.
Yeah.
Other thoughts about our offense versus the Auburn defense?
Utilize Cuevas.
He's hurt. He's out. So it's gonna be my cousin Caleb Edwards playing. Yeah, Cuevas is hurt, and he might be back for the playoffs, but he will not play at Auburn. He will not play. But a lot of people like Pritchett and think that he's good. So I think it's going to be a heavy dose of Caleb Edwards and is it Marshall Pritchett?
Yeah.
I think it's going to be a heavy dose of those two guys. Yeah, I hate it because Cuevas was having a great season, but yeah, he's hurt, so that's a
Yeah.
bummer. All right, let's talk about special teams.
Not good. Comes down to a field goal. We are in a Rio de Caca.
Do you think Talty can actually make a 40-yard field goal when we need him to?
Not at an angle.
God, so bad. So bad.
Yeah.
It's rough. I mean, all right, let's go through the factors here. Let's talk about factors and then we'll sum it up. All right. Ashton Daniels versus Ty. Who do you give the edge to?
Ty Simpson.
Absolutely. Daniels is a dual threat quarterback. He can scramble, but we're good with that right now.
Yeah.
I think we can handle
He's
it.
not like a, major threat. He's not like Michael Vick or Lamar Jackson back there. He's,
But he can scramble. He
he
can
can
run.
scramble, but, not something to really worry about.
All right. Can Kane's defense do enough to limit Auburn and limit their offense? Or are you confident that we can do what we need to do on the defensive side to win this thing?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. All right. How about Bama's O-line versus the Auburn defensive line?
Probably their defensive line.
Yeah, I have to agree with you. I think their defensive line, until we prove that we can handle it, I would say particularly in run blocking, I'm going to give them. I think our offensive line is pretty good at pass blocking, so hopefully we can keep the pressure off Ty. But I hope he gets the ball out quick as well. Sometimes I think he's holding the ball too long. I think he needs to just get rid of it a little quicker.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think I have to give Auburn's D line. How about Auburn's O line versus the Bama D line?
I think our D line's been playing well. Yanze Pierre, he's an animal out there. So I'll give it to our D line.
Tim Keenan.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I like our D line. I like the way the defense is playing. All right, how about Auburn's running game against our defense? Who do you give the edge to?
I mean, they're not a big threat, and we've gotten better at it. I'll say it looked, a lot better against Oklahoma. So I'll go with our defense.
I'm going to call that a push. I think they're going to be effective running the ball, but I think when they get inside the 20, we're going to really bog them down and limit them to field goals. But I think they'll have some success running the ball between, from their 20 to our 30. I think they're going to have some success. How about the Auburn passing game versus the Bama D?
Our defense.
I agree. I like our defense. I like the way we're playing. We just can't give up big plays over the top to Cam Coleman. Give him underneath stuff. Do not let him beat you over the top. He had some crazy catches against Vanderbilt in tight coverage. He's really, really good. I'd love to see him up in Tuscaloosa next year. That would.
I assume we'll put Dijon Lee on him.
Oh yeah, that's my guess too. I think that's right.
Yeah.
How do you feel about us against them on third down and fourth down? Can we get those stops consistently and limit them?
I think so, yeah.
All right. Now, how about the Bama running game against the Auburn D?
I'll give that one to Auburn.
Yep, I'm with you there. How about the Bama passing game against the Auburn defense?
That's been our strength all year, so I'll just go with us. So a few rough games, I mean, still put up good stats. Just a few, a few throws that haven't been great. So, in
Well,
totality,
Ty put up 21 points against a very good Oklahoma defense.
yeah,
So if he doesn't throw the pick six, or if Talty hits that kick, I mean, you just keep naming the stuff. If Ty doesn't get that strip sack, just multiple plays, we win that game. So they had these dominoes fall perfectly to eke out a 2-point win. So yeah, I like our passing game. All right, head coach matchup: DeBoer or Durkin?
I'll give it to DeBoer.
All right. I definitely DeBoer. I'm definitely giving DeBoer that. I mean, they fired their coach. They're in flux. They're
Yeah,
they're they're struggling. All right. Who's the OC for Auburn? Is that Nick's?
I
Is
don't
it
know.
is it Patrick Nick's dad?
I don't know.
Yeah. All right. Well, so OC, I'm going to give Ryan Grubb. Don't you think Ryan Grubb's the better offensive coordinator there?
Yep.
All right, how about defensive coordinator? I'm going to call Durkin their defensive coordinator. Who would you give? Who do you think's better as a D coordinator, Kane or Auburn's defensive coordinator? Let's call it Durkin.
Kane's, I know he's had his, few things where like, that doesn't look good, but the defense has played pretty well, these past couple of weeks. Even against, Georgia only gave up 14 to Vanderbilt, who, scores 40 points a game.
Yeah,
Defense played well against LSU. Even Oklahoma. Oklahoma scored
our
one
defense
last year,
played
but
great against Oklahoma. Yeah, we shut them down.
yeah. So
So you calling that give it to Kane, or you calling it a push?
I'll give it to Kane.
Okay. All right. I'm going to call it a push. But I really I just want them to show me against Auburn that we can shut them down. So I'm going to call it a push. All right. Special teams. You give the
Hmm.
special.
I'll give it to Auburn.
Yeah. Yep. Please don't come down to a Talty kick. Please do not come down to that.
I think we win by 3 or 4, but it's not because of a Talty kick. It's not going to come down to a Talty kick. Talty's already going to have made it earlier in the game. Or we win like 21-17.
Yeah, yeah. Please don't come down to the Talty kick. They've got a kicker that can make kicks. We don't. How can Auburn get good kicker after good kicker after good kicker, and we can't find good kickers other than Will Riker? What's our problem?
I don't know. It's because it's going over into DeBoer now. I mean,
Yeah.
maybe people thought it was a Nick Saban thing. I'm starting to think maybe it's got to be a mental, you're playing at the University of Alabama kind of thing, like a
Well, is
pressure.
it a
It
special
might just be
teams
like a
coaching
pressure
thing?
thing.
Is it a special teams coaching thing? Is it a recruiting thing? Why can we not get a
I
good
mean,
kicker?
I don't think a special teams coach is going to tell you how to kick. I
You
mean,
gotta have you gotta have coaches that work with the kickers. You have to. There has to be special teams
yeah, but I
coaches.
mean, these people got recruited because they could kick in high school.
Well,
I mean, well, I just don't understand what happens after. I mean, we've had a few. I mean,
exactly. That's why we need a new special teams coach. I think that's the biggest thing DeBoer could do to upgrade his staff is go get a new special teams coach because there are plenty of colleges in this country football teams that have good special teams, and ours is subpar.
yeah,
So anyway, all right. Poise and penalties. You think we can be poised? You think we can keep the penalties down?
I think we have in the past couple of games. Nothing too egregious or bad. Um, but it's a rivalry game. I think there might be a fight or two that we get flagged for, or Auburn gets flagged for, whoever hits them second.
Yeah.
Um, but I'll allow one of those, and not in a not crucial spot.
Well, James Smith hadn't jumped on anybody recently, and
No.
we hadn't hit anybody late out of bounds. No PIs that I can remember. So I think we've done pretty well. Let's hope our guys can stay disciplined and not get stupid penalties. I'm sure the noise will be bad, so there'll definitely be a risk of offsides, of illegal motion, some of those things that happen when it's really noisy on offense. So that's a danger. All right, who do you trust to make the halftime adjustments? Kalen?
More.
I do too. Durkin, against Vanderbilt, they had a lead at halftime. They blew it. I'm trusting Kalen. So we're battle tested. Auburn has been through battles, but they haven't proven they can win the big battles. So I think that favors us. We've won on the road. We've won 3 games on the road. We want to get a 4th one. I like our chances. I think we can do it. All right, predictions for the game. Give me a prediction. Give me a score.
I said it earlier. I'll say 21-17.
All right, 21-17.
Alabama winning.
Okay. I'm going 24-17 Alabama.
Oh, you got a field goal in there.
I got a field goal in there. I think Talty's not going to be the game winner. He'll get one when it doesn't matter as much. Somehow we're going to get a field goal.
Second quarter or something.
Yeah, second quarter, third quarter. He's going to kick one when it's not as pressure filled. And I think our defense is going to step up and we're going to limit them. And I'm trusting that we don't fumble the ball on punt returns, that we don't throw pick sixes, that we don't fumble the ball at our own 20-yard line and they get a short field and get a cheap touchdown, that we don't do those things that have killed us, that we don't miss chip shot field goals, those type of things. So I think we're going to win, but I think it's going to be a nail biter. Maybe we have to score, maybe it's 17-all and we have to score a touchdown in the fourth quarter to get the win. But I'm thinking 24-17.
Gotcha.
All right. Give me your final thoughts here as we get ready for this Iron Bowl.
This is the most hyped up Iron Bowl that I can remember where Auburn wasn't very good. In 2023 and 2021, we kind of just assumed that we would beat them. And then that's when the weird things happened. And now that since those things have happened, we're kind of on edge. We had a Heisman winner had to go into 4 overtimes to beat them. And we had to have an actual miracle happen with Jalen Milroe. And then, years before that was Saban. We lost there a handful of times. It's just always a tough game. But I think they know what's at stake. And this Auburn team's not great. They have some good players. They'll make some good plays. But if this season's any indicator, they can't make the plays to win in the end. So I think we'll win.
I like it.
No.
All right. That's it. Thank you for listening. Subscribe, follow, like, hit the notify button wherever you access the podcast. God bless and roll tide.
Roll Tide.